This is Jonathan Agger, fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Joe Gallagher. We're here in London. The Natasha Jones journey continues with a huge fight with Lauren Price in March. Joe, just tell us what Natasha Jonas, the journey, the career, means to you, and does she epitomise everything you like in a fighter?
Yeah, I think so. I think, like I say, a year ago, Tasha was in Liverpool saying 2024 after beating Michaela Mayer. This is her last year, and here we are a year later, taking on the challenge of Lauren Price, the young gun. And people's expectation of it being a changing of a guard and all that, but that's only motivating and fueling Natasha. She's been a pro 8 years now, 2 weight unified, out of a weight division. A weight division's 135 or 140. The camp she's gone through, the bigger girls she's beat. She had an unbelievable scalp this time last year, Michaela Mayer, but everyone seems to forget about that this year when it comes to nominations for Fight of the Year and Fighter of the Year, which I'm a little bit annoyed about. But listen, Natasha, as always, the lady, I want to retire, but as long as she wants to accept the challenges, I'll always have her back. But that just shows the desire and the drive in her at such an age now, for nearly 41 years of age.
Is that what you feel proved pivotal on the night, just her experience and, like you say, the drive and motivation she has going into this later part of her career?
I don't necessarily say experience. I think Natasha's timing, I think Natasha's set of tools, her punch output, her shot selection. She throws a better catalogue of punches than what Lauren does. Lauren's has got a straight backhand, quick jab, hook, and then holds. That's really it, what Lauren really does. As far as Natasha, I think the timing, I don't think Lauren's really been in with someone like Natasha Jonas, and we're just looking forward to proving everyone wrong again come March.
You've got a number of fighters in your stable. I just wanted to start with Jack Massey. Obviously faced probably arguably the best in the division in Jai Opataya. What's next to him?
No, Jack's back in the gym. He's out in March, April, I believe. He had a good year last year. Obviously, when he got married, he'd say is his priority. That's to keep the wife happy, that one. And then after that, then obviously beating Chamberlain, going down there as the outsider, winning the European Commonwealth at short notice in a great performance. And then after that, then obviously for Opataya, fell short. And listen, Jai Opataya, you've just seen in the fight there recently as well, there's no stopping that fella. And like I said to Jack, there's world champions and elite, and Opataya you've got to put in the elite category, so there's no shame in that. Want him to come back and we go again.
Lawrence Okolie made a really impressive heavyweight debut. There was reports that he is in talks with Luis Ortiz. Is that looking likely, or is there other options as well?
Listen, over social media the last few days, Lawrence Okolie is in a lot of talks with a lot of people, and whether it be Miller, Hrgovic, Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce was the fight I thought was done and dusted, and we were fighting him next after Joe had a little warm-up, but Joe Joyce has pulled out of that fight now, of fighting Lawrence Okolie. So it's disappointing in that, but like I say, there's all names being thrown about, so I'll speak to Lawrence later on today, and George, Warren and Tember, and see where we're up to with it. But Lawrence, for where he is in WBC, is a target on his back now, so people have got to put names out there and associate themselves and try and take the scalp of Lawrence, who I thought had a very good year last year. From 12 months ago he was in Saudi on the back end of Billam Smith, and in a good place, to last year having 2 first round knockouts, winning the WBC Bridgerweight against the kid that dismantled Babic, then stepped up to heavyweight, another good first round win, and he was in the room at the Ring Awards, been in and around, and I was in conversations with these type of fighters. So Lawrence Okolie last year I thought was, in my opinion, which would do bias, was one of the comebacks of the year last year, regardless of people's opinions. I've got my opinions. I feel there's a lot of biasm in journalism at the moment to a lot of the southern people and southern fighters and everyone, in just a touch on Jonas Mayer, how that wasn't put up for one of the fights of the year this year, nominated, so an overlook there, and overlooking Lawrence Okolie. And it's not me being salty, me being bitter. I've got nothing to be bitter about, but if people like Natasha Jones and Lawrence Okolie have had a good year, at least they're deserving of a sentence or a line in people's reflections looking back at the year anyway.
And you've got a lot of young talent in your stable. Do you want to just talk a bit about that?
Mikey Talon, 6-0 kid. He fought Natasha's fight in Liverpool. Very exciting fighter, light flyweight. He's got to do big things. He's 6-0. He's out again in February. Joe Cooper, good prospect with Frank Warren, only 18. He's having his third fight on February the 8th. Clark Smith, light middleweight. He's out again in February. And then Mo Alakil, he's had 2 fights, 2 wins in Saudi. He's out again on the Beterbiev Bivol show. So they're coming through. Josh Holmes won the English title last year, so he's getting a position fight for the British. Billy Dennis fought on Sky the other week in Sheffield, and he had a good win. So yeah, I can't think of many people that we've left out at the moment. Callum Johnson's doing well. He's had 2 fights. He's ranked number 2 in the WBO at cruiserweight now. So yeah, the gym's thriving at the moment.
Joe, just a few other...
To talk about that.
No, it is a thriving gym, and Callum Johnson, of course, has fought Beterbiev, so he'll be...
No one just wants to talk about the success of the people out of the gymnasium, out of Champs Camp for the last 12 months.
Well, you've had a successful year in 2024, hopefully a big year in 2025. Joe, just a few other topics. Like you said, you've got a fight on the Beterbiev Bivol card. What's your prediction for the rematch?
I had Beterbiev on top last time. I thought he'd win. I think Bivol, obviously his boxing skill, he'll adjust a little bit. Most will be able to keep it up to the 7-8 round mark, get them rounds in the bank, and hopefully he can avoid the onslaught of Beterbiev late on. Beterbiev's got a Mushroomy start a little bit quicker. Now he's a little bit more familiar. He's felt his power, and Mushroomy isn't afraid, so Mushroomy might put his foot to the floor a little bit earlier. Who's not to say Bivol wins? I'm going to see a trilogy with it. They're both excellent fighters, both great role models for up-and-coming fighters to watch and study, and to see how they behave both in and out of the ring.
Daniel Dubois has been talking about Usyk and future fights, but does he have his hands full against Joseph Parker, do you think?
Yeah, he does. Joseph Parker's a good fighter. Both him and Daniel's a good fight. Got both excellent coaches. Don Charles had a great year. Andy Lee's having a good year last year, and he's done well bringing Joseph Parker back. The great game plans gone on between the two of them. Chance for Joseph to be a 2-time world champion. But Daniel, I'm a big Daniel Dubois fan. How he's come back when everyone written him off and called him a quitter, and to have that energy, seeing him walking into Wembley and seeing his energy, and you just want, give me a little bit what he's having, the energy, the enthusiasm is pouring out. And I feel a little bit sorry for Daniel, because he is the world heavyweight champion, and people are still not talking to him or treating him still and giving him respect as a heavyweight world champion, and a heavyweight world champion that earned it beating Anthony Joshua. He didn't win it against somebody second or third tier. He beat Anthony Joshua, so it's another fight for him, and I just think it's a close fight, but I just think Daniel Dubois carries the heavy artillery, and at some point he'll land numerous times, and we'll see what happens. But you can't write Joseph Parker out, and his past performances last year.
Talking about heavyweights that perhaps don't get the respect, do you feel Martin Bakole's another one that may be overlooked and not talked about enough?
Yeah, most probably, but he's up there in Scotland. He's now got a fight. I think it's over in America, is it? Is it on America? Yeah, and that's a big fight for him. That's a big fight for him over in America, for the American audience to get behind him as well. And from what I hear, there's big fights for him once he gets through this. So, like anything, he's just got to keep his head down, keep winning, and eventually to get the shot. And when you get the shot, you got to take it with both hands, very much like Daniel did.
Two final questions. Obviously, Tyson Fury announcing his retirement, making reference to Dick Turpin. Now, some people suggesting that meant he felt robbed in the Usyk fight in terms of the decision. Others saying maybe it's a highway. He's referring to if he's brought back, it'd be a highway robbery to pay him the amount he wants. Which way did you take that line?
I'm not sure it's someone he caught someone robbing milk off his doorstep. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Tyson's Tyson, and what he is has been a fantastic ambassador for British boxing on the world stage in all his career. The fact that he's been a 2-time heavyweight champion, and if he wants to retire now, then let him retire, let him have a peace of mind. I've seen him out pictures of Disney with his family, enjoy it. Maybe in the back of a head he most would think, third time lucky with Usyk, who I have to see, or if there's talk with AJ, he's thinking, well, I've been this 2-finger, I want paying well for it. Who knows with Tyson? But at the end of the day, let's acknowledge the career that he had, and give him the respect and give him his flowers that he's is due, and it was great to have a British world heavyweight champion that ruled for so long.
Lastly, Joe, no confirmed date yet, but we're expecting Ben and Eubank to fight in April. Is it the old saying of weight classes for a reason in this fight, or do you believe Ben's capable of beating Eubank?
What was the first point?
The old saying, which is weight classes for a reason.
Oh, weight classes for a reason. Yeah, I just got asked about the clauses and weight and all that. Listen, it's all about making the weight. Once they made the weight, they should be able to be allowed to weigh in what they want. If you want to step up and take the challenge on, then you've got to fight them or whatever is that. What we want to do and what the British Board of Control wants to do as well, that when two athletes get in the ring on fight night, that they're both fully hydrated. Some fighters, as we know, some Americans take a stone and a half to be fully hydrated. Some take a stone, some take 4 pounds. It's whatever makes that fighter best, because on the day what you don't want is the fighter wanting to have that meal at dinner time but can't because he's got to be a pound or two over. That's adding stress, and you don't want that. You want the fighter to go in there fully hydrated and at his best for the paying public, and that'd be the same for Conor Benn as it is for Eubank Jr. and for any fighter in there. That's what fans are paying for, to see the best Eubank and the best Benn. So once they've made weight, I don't think there should be no clauses. It's just get on with it, and that's it. That you both want to fight and get on with it. Whether it comes to 180, you knew the risk, you knew the challenge, and everything else. But the main thing is we cannot allow fighters get in there that are not fully hydrated. Yes, some take 6. The IBF say there's a 10 pound. There's a 10 pound, but some that's in a morning weighing. But there can be even more so then after that. Each fight is different, so it's the crescendo, the noise, the hype. It's all going to be good for the build-up towards it, and like I say, it's most probably a bigger fight now than it was when it got cancelled.
Do you favour any side at the moment, or have you not made your pick?
I just think Eubank Jr. only because he's been in the bigger fights, he's been in with the bigger opposition. Conor Benn's never fought for a title of sorts, neither a Southern Area, English, Commonwealth, European, British. So that where Eubank Jr. look at his resume, he's been in with George Groves, James DeGale, world titles or not, he's been with the bigger fighters, big fight experience, knows how to win. His fight with George Groves still sticks in my mind. What an unbelievable fight of showing of courage and desire in that fight, and against someone so big with George Groves. So yeah, it's a good fight, but I just side with Chris Eubank Jr. Conor Benn has got the youth, the enthusiasm, everything else, and I'm sure him and Sims or Tony Sims are working really well for a game plan, and it could be getting the right man at the right time. It really could be, but it's the man with the coolest head in that ring that night that'll win that fight.
Joe, appreciate your time. Good luck ahead of training camp, ahead of March 7th.
Yeah, no problem. Thank